Most people thought Elon Musk was exaggerating until they saw this. The new Tesla robot doesn't just move like a human. It thinks with its hands. And what it can do next has even engineers terrified and amazed. When Elon Musk walked onto the stage at Tesla's 2025 shareholder meeting, people expected another talk about cars or batteries. What they didn't expect was silence. The kind of silence that happens when you realize you're seeing history. Behind him stood a figure that looked almost human. It blinked, flexed its fingers, and turned its head toward the crowd as if it knew it was being watched. Musk didn't waste time. He simply said, "Meet Optimus Gen 3. For a moment, the audience didn't even clap. They were too busy processing what they'd just seen. Because this wasn't a demo video or CGI concept. This was a real humanoid robot, walking, balancing, and moving like a person. And when it raised its hand, you could hear the small motors humming with a rhythm eerily close to a heartbeat. Musk called it the biggest product of all time, bigger than cell phones. And the reason? It's not just a machine that moves. It's one that works. Optimus Gen 3 is designed to think, learn, and perform any task a human can, and it starts with its hands. Tesla's engineers say these hands are the key to unlocking a trillion-dollar economy. One where robots handle everything from building cars to making breakfast. But the real shock wasn't what the robot did on stage. It was what Musk promised next. A future where these machines wouldn't just belong to companies, but to people. Before Optimus Gen 3, the Tesla bot was impressive but limited. Gen 1 and Gen 2 could walk, balance, and even recognize objects, but they were more like mobile cameras than true assistants. They could move, yes, but they couldn't interact. That limitation haunted Musk. He once said, "The hand is the hardest part," and he meant it literally. While other companies obsessed over making robots walk like humans, Tesla quietly chased something far more complex, the ability to use the world the way we do. To twist a bottle cap, fold laundry, or pick up a fragile glass without breaking it. That's what made Gen 3 different. It's not a step forward. It's a leap. Instead of just mimicking human motion, it understands the purpose behind every movement. With 22 degrees of freedom in each hand and advanced haptic feedback, Gen 3 doesn't need to be told how to grasp an object. It figures it out. And while its body may look mechanical, its precision feels disturbingly human. It can thread a needle, hold a pen, or even perform delicate medical procedures with the steadiness of a machine and the grace of a person. For Musk, that wasn't a small milestone. It was the beginning of a new economy. Because a robot that can use its hands like a human can work like one too. Tesla's engineers call it the breakthrough no one thought possible. Gen 3's hand isn't just an upgrade. It's a complete redesign of what a robot hand can be. Each finger has independent sensors, tiny actuators, and nerve-like circuits that mimic human muscles. Instead of stiff, robotic movements, Gen 3's hands respond to resistance, weight, and texture, adjusting their grip automatically just like ours. It doesn't need programming for every motion. It learns from experience using real-time feedback to refine its touch. That's what Musk meant when he said, "It doesn't just move objects. It manipulates them." During internal tests, the Gen 3 prototype handled tools with such precision that engineers stopped calling it a robot and started calling it a colleague. It could assemble components, pour liquids, and even play simple musical instruments, not for show, but to test coordination accuracy. And while most robots shake or falter after long use, Gen 3 keeps going 24 hours a day, no fatigue, no errors. Its movement sensors correct tremors within milliseconds, maintaining perfect precision. This isn't about automation anymore. It's about replacement. For the first time, a machine can physically do what humans do, faster, longer, and cheaper. It's the kind of breakthrough that doesn't just change robotics, it changes the definition of labor itself. For years, people thought Tesla was just a car company. Then they thought it was an energy company. Now it's becoming something else entirely, a labor company. Because Musk isn't building Optimus Gen 3 to sell to factories. He's building it for you. He said it openly. The long-term goal is for every home, every business, even every person to own a humanoid robot. One that works, learns, and earns money while you sleep. Imagine this. Instead of hiring workers, companies subscribe to fleets of Tesla bots. They operate 24/7, need no breaks, and are updated through the same over-the-air system that powers Tesla cars. That means labor becomes software. You don't hire a person, you download one. And the moment that happens, the global economy flips. Musk calls it the end of the labor shortage. Economists call it the automation singularity. Factories, farms, hospitals, and construction sites could all run with minimal human staff. A world where physical work is handled entirely by machines, and humans become managers of robots instead of workers themselves. But here's where it gets deeper. These robots aren't just tools. They're connected, learning from every task performed anywhere in the world. That means every Optimus gets smarter, faster, and cheaper the more they work. It's the same exponential curve that made electric cars mainstream and rockets reusable. Only this time it's happening to people's jobs. Behind the excitement and applause, there's a quiet realization spreading through the audience. This isn't just a tech reveal. It's a turning point, because for the first time, people weren't asking if robots could replace human labor. They were asking when. Elon Musk didn't just unveil a humanoid robot. He unveiled an economic engine that doesn't need rest, sleep, or salaries. One that can cook, clean, build, and even heal without ever asking for a paycheck. But this shift isn't without a cost. Imagine millions of Optimus units performing the same work humans once did, faster, cheaper, and more precisely. Factories without workers. Offices without staff. Homes running themselves. Musk calls it the next great leap for civilization. But economists call it something else. The end of traditional employment. Because once Tesla scales up to millions of bots, labor as we know it may never look the same again. And while that sounds like progress, it also raises haunting questions. If a robot can do your job better than you, what happens next? Yet, Musk remains calm. He believes this transition isn't destruction, it's evolution. A step toward a society where work becomes optional, and humans focus on creativity, exploration, and innovation. But even with that optimism, one thing is clear: the line between human and machine isn't just blurring. It's disappearing. And that brings us to the final chapter. What happens after the robots take over the work, and we're left to decide what's next for humanity itself. And Musk knows exactly what that means. Whoever controls the world's labor network controls the world's economy. When the lights dimmed and Optimus Gen 3 walked off stage, people weren't just seeing a robot, they were seeing the future of us. Because what Musk unveiled wasn't just a new product. It was a new definition of what it means to work, to build, to exist in a world where intelligence, both human and artificial, shares the same planet. He once said, AI will either be the best thing ever for humanity, or the worst. And for the first time, it's not just a quote. It's standing in front of us, blinking, breathing, waiting for instructions. The dream is simple, a world where no one has to do boring, repetitive work again. But the question isn't whether the robots will replace us. It's what happens when they don't need us at all. Because if Optimus Gen 3 can work, think, and evolve faster than any human, then maybe the real revolution isn't technological. It's existential. Maybe Musk isn't just building a machine. Maybe he's building a mirror, one that forces us to ask what being human will mean in a world run by our own creations. And the craziest part? This isn't science fiction anymore. It's rolling out of a Tesla factory right now.